Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews, where I bring you a review every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today we're talking about Daredevil Season 1 in the Marvel Universe. Daredevil has a show on Netflix, a Netflix original. And wow, this show is insanely good. um, as you guys know, I'm pretty much becoming a full on Marvel nerd. I'm very into superheroes right now, especially Marvel. I used to be a big DC fan and didn't believe in the hype, but now I'm here for it pretty much as watching the Marvel movies on Disney Plus for the first time all in a row. And those videos have been getting a lot of good feedback, pretty much, a lot of good comments, so appreciate that. But then I started to check out the shows too, in a little bit of the in between time I have to not just sit and watch movies. I can sit and watch TV shows, and I've heard good things about Daredevil, and those good things are even more true than what I've heard from watching this show. The show's got like 13 episodes in season one. I'm not gonna watch every season back to back. I'm actually gonna do Jessica Jones season one next because there's like a little universe in the Netflix Marvel universe. It's got like Luke Cage, Punisher, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil, and then they come together on the show. And I'm just gonna watch the there's like 13 seasons combining all those shows, and yeah, basically I'm just gonna do that. First season one of Daredevil, then Jessica Jones, then Daredevil season two, then it's like Luke Cage season one. Anyway, enough chit chatting. This Daredevil is about a guy who's this is pretty much like Batman, like the TV show, set in really grit and like it's very gritty, very much not like a Marvel movie like at all. It's got some comedy to it like a Marvel movie, but it's much more darker. Like there are insane deaths. There are very evil and sick and twisted people. There are lots of deaths. I feel like, um, but man, Daredevil himself, he is just a guy who is blind almost, or pretty much. He got blinded when he was younger, but it heightened all of his other senses. Like he can hear people like three floors down below them and exactly what they're saying. He can tell when people are lying to them because he can hear their heartbeat. He can smell what people have eaten in like the past few days, like shit like that. And then also he's when he was growing up, he got a mentor named Stick that you see kind of a couple episodes into the show. But he basically learns how to do karate and fight really well too, basically how Batman did. Then he has a few sticks that he uses sometimes. For the majority of this first season, actually pretty much all of it, really, he doesn't wear the Daredevil outfit. He's more of a just wearing a black mask, and he's called the Black Mask pretty much the entire season. Um, there are a lot of great things about this show though, like the cast of characters. I don't really know them like by name. I'm very bad at that. But you got Matthew Murdock as Daredevil. That's the character, a very good character. And then he's a lawyer during the day at a very new law firm with his friend Foggy, which Foggy's a pretty great character for half of the season. Foggy is probably my only complaint, and I'll tell you guys why later. Well, just towards the end of the season, he gets a little bitchy to me. I'll just say that because I'm not spoiling anything, but that's pretty much why I didn't like Foggy at the end. But Foggy's a great cast in the beginning, and then there's a girl named Karen, which I adore her. I think she's like not only is she pretty and all that, but she's like a really good actor. She fits this role so well. I feel like of like an innocent girl. Like the first episode, she's kind of I think she's the first case that that Daredevil and Foggy take together. Is her case is Karen, and then she kind of joins the squad. That's one thing too. I thought this show was gonna be episodic for some reason. I thought it was gonna be like not a like the first like things that happened in the first episode about something called Union Allied. Like they carry that on the entire season. Like things matter. It's a very linear show. It's very not episodic. It's a full story. It's one whole story of a season, and I really enjoy it. Daredevil tries not to kill people a lot like Batman, but he's very dark in some of his uh, what do you call it, interviews, I guess, or I'm trying to think what it's called when you're interrogating someone. There you go. His interrogations are pretty dark. He meets a lot of good allies, and then the villain. Man, the villain is probably the best villain in the entire MCU besides Thanos. When it comes to being fleshed out and understanding their point of view, in a sense, you got Wilson Fisk. I mean, he's not introduced right away, and I think that's one great thing this show does well, is they really don't show the villain right away, which it might be a spoiler of me telling you, but it should just hype you up if you haven't seen the show already, to know that Wilson Fisk is the main villain, but of season one. But they don't show him in like the first 3 or 4 episodes. He's talked about a lot. He's like the boss of all these other people, these lower bosses in a sense. Some old ladies, some Japanese guys, some his best friend Wesley, and like some guy that does all the money stuff. It's like this little group and some Russians. And at first, it's just that Wesley is this guy in a suit that speaks for Mr. Fisk in all these meetings, and he's just not, he's too cool basically to show up for a while. It makes him really intimidating. You see some things that people are very afraid of Mr. Fisk. They don't really, they're told not to say his name at all in the beginning, even. That's why you don't really know who it is for a while. But the first person that does say his name, like crazy things happen, and you slowly learn that Mr. Fisk is controlling everything. Like you really see the origin story kind of from beginning to end of Wilson Fisk. You get like story, like a flashback of his childhood, some stuff that happens to his childhood, just like you do Daredevil. Daredevil gets some childhood back flashes or flashbacks that I really enjoy. I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumbling everywhere, but I really enjoyed this show. It's got a lot going on. I think Wilson Fisk and Daredevil are a great clash in this season. Wilson Fisk is like an old mobster in a sense. That's how it comes off to me, of a mobster that owns the entire city pretty much. Like he owns the entire police force, all the juries and jurors, the judges, just people in general do whatever because they're either afraid of him or he has tons of money. And that makes him very menacing. He's also kind of becomes a public figure later on and tries to make Daredevil look like the bad guy in the world. The villain or someone who's causing mayhem instead of being a vigilante, or like but it's you get just as much time with Wilson Fisk. Tragedy happens to him just like Daredevil, and I think that's great. Like I said, he's probably the most fleshed out Marvel villain next to Thanos. Like probably my top 3 villains are probably Thanos, Wilson Fisk, and Loki. Obviously it's much smaller scale. It's just the city of Hell's Kitchen. It's just like Batman defending Gotham, but instead it's Daredevil defending Hell's Kitchen. And a lot of times it does not seem like the odds are completely stacked against Daredevil, and it's very I think also the fighting in this is surprisingly good. There's episode 2, Cutman, I think is actually just a flawless episode in general. It gives a lot of details and layers to Daredevil, and it also has an insanely good fighting scene for a TV show in which it's just one cut for like 7 minutes of this hallway, and Daredevil just goes ham in that hallway. Said no cuts at all. I love no cuts fighting scenes. And it also, the show does insanely well at showing exhaustion. Daredevil doesn't have insane superpowers. He's just blind with heightened senses. Senses? Why do I keep saying that? Senses. And he gets tired during these fights. You can see it. And he gets beat up a lot in this. It's just a lot of realism. I bought into everything that happened in this. I felt everything was well acted, well deserved. The person who plays Wilson Fisk has some great lines. I love the way he talks. It's very like, I am the good guy of the city, and I will do anything to save my city. It's shit like that. I don't know. Wilson Fisk talks great. Daredevil sounds like Batman sometimes when he's like, where are they? Where are they? I swear Daredevil be sounding like Batman sometimes. It is like a really good Batman detective show, lawyer show. If you like Batman, you'll love this show, I think. And if you don't, if you just like another show, if you just like shows, I actually think this show is pretty flawless, especially if you look at it from the villain and hero standpoint. Like, the villain is great, the hero is just as great, and they go through a lot of turmoil, and like I said, shit really happens, shit matters, shit happens, and I'm so excited to watch season 2. But next up, I'm on Jessica Jones season 1. So yeah, my final verdict for this season, like I said, my only complaint was foggy towards the end of season 1. So I honestly got to give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's going to be the best Marvel show out of all these, and the best season, really, of any of them. I don't know if season 2 or 3 will top it. I don't know if Jessica Jones or Luke Cage are any better. I doubt it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've watched Daredevil, been interested in it. I definitely recommend it, even if you don't like superheroes. It's not a comic book show. It's really not. It's kind of like a crime show first, drama in a sense. It's very much a drama. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video.